Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce my team first. My name is Sarno bin Muhammad and my team members is Muhammad Amirul, Izul Afizi, Afrina Amni and Azri Fatiha. Like everyone can see at my slide, there is a big font said Mahathirism. Have you ever wondered how a country like Malaysia can transform from developing nation into one of Southeast Asia's most recognized industrial economy within just a few decades? Today, my team and I will introduce a political and economic philosophy that play a major role in this transformation, known as Mahathirism. Mahathirism was introduced by Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad on three main foundations, which is modernization, nationalism, and strong leadership. Through this policy, Malaysia become a more globally competitive nation. Mahathirism influence not only felt within the country but also internationally through policies like Look East policy, where encouraged Malaysians to learn from work ethic and technological advancement of countries like Japan and South Korea. However, while many praise it for driving modernization and strengthen national identity, others have raised concern about issues democracy and centralized power. Therefore, Mahathirism remains an important topic because it demonstrates how political ideas not only shape countries' development but also its position within the international community.
Hello and hi everyone. Today I will briefly explain about Mahathirism, modernization and industrialization. Mahathirism is a development concept introduced by Mahathir Mohamad, our ex-prime minister. Its main goal was to transform Malaysia from an agricultural economy into an industrial and developed nation. The focus was on economic growth, advanced technology and modern infrastructure to make Malaysia more competitive in a global community. One of the key under Mahathirism was Vision 2020 launched in 1991. The goal was for Malaysia to achieve developed nation status by the year of 2020. It emphasized industrialization, rapid economic growth, technological advancement. In conclusion, Mahathirism played an important role in modernizing Malaysia and laying the foundation for the country's economic and industrial development. Now, I will explain about the core pillar of Mahathirism. First pillar is strong governance and leadership, where the government plays an active role in planning and driving national development. The second pillar is rapid industrial growth, which focuses in expanding manufacturing and industry to create jobs, strengthen the economy. The third pillar is national economy development, aimed in increasing the country's wealth and improving the quality of the life of all Malaysians. The fourth pillar is the large-scale infrastructure development, including the construction of highway, airport, and the modern public facilities to support economic growth. Finally, technological innovation encouraged the use of advanced technology to improve productivity and help Malaysia compete globally. Together, this pillar helped shape Malaysia's journey towards becoming a modern and industrial nation. Mahathirism, modernization and industrialization. Industrialization strategy. First is Proton, our national automobile industry, the steel industry and the science and technology sector. In addition, several major modernization projects were introduced to support the country development, including Petronas Twin Tower, Putrajaya Kuala Lumpur International Airport, and Multimedia Super Corridor or MSC. This project improved Malaysia's infrastructure, enhanced economic connectivity, attract foreign investment, and strengthen the country's national identity.
So next part is nationalism and Malay empowerment. Okay. Actually, in this part, our ex-Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad wants to empower Malays in economic and political sector. Actually, in this part, maybe at that time, our ex-Prime Minister saw that Malays were left behind compared to other races, especially in terms of education, job and business opportunities. So he took an initiative to encourage our Bumiputras, especially to involve in the business sector. So by doing this involvement, they can boost our national economic growth. So as a result, many Malays get a pure education, get higher education, get a career development and else. Okay, next part is look is policy and ASEAN values. Okay, in this part, our ex-Prime Minister saw that ASEAN countries are more developed compared to West countries, especially Japan and South Korea. As we can see now, Japan and South Korea really growth in technology, AI, industrialization, and more. So it is for him, for our ex-Prime Minister, he saw that we should look into this country compared to West countries, because why not we look into other country rather than West countries. So even our Malaysia brand Proton were using Japan and South Korea technologies to create our own brands. Also we at that time, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad took an initiative to send more graduate students to Japan and South Korea to learn about their technologies. So when they came back to Malaysia, they will develop what they learn with Japan and South Korea industry to boost our industrialization part.
Impact of Mahathirism on Malaysia. The first, social impact. Social impact, education development. Mahathirism placed strong emphasis on education, science and technology as the foundation of Malaysia development. The government increased investment in school, university and research while expanding opportunities for Malaysians to pursue higher education, both locally and overseas. This effort aimed to produce knowledgeable and competitive citizens for the future. Second, human capital development. Another important social impact was the development of skilled human capital. Through better education and training, Malaysia produced a workforce capable of supporting industrialization and technological advancement. This also improves social mobility, allowing more people to secure better jobs and contributing to the growth of the middle class. Second, urbanization and quality of life. Rapid economic growth under Mahathirism encouraged urbanization as more people move to cities for employment opportunities. At the same time, the government invests in housing, healthcare, transportation, and public utilities, leading to an overall improvement in the quality of life for many Malaysians. Third, Bumiputra. Mahathirism continue and strengthen affirmative action policy to increase Bumiputra participation in the economy. This policy provides greater access to business opportunities, education, and professional careers. As a result, Bumiputra representation in various economic and professional sectors increased, help to reduce socio-economic disparities. Economic impact. The first, Look East policy. The Look East policy encouraged Malaysians to adopt the work ethic, discipline, management practice, and technological expertise of Japan and South Korea. The policy aimed to improve national productivity, strengthen competitiveness, and support Malaysia's long-term economic development. The second, industrialization and infrastructure development. Mahathirism transformed Malaysia from an agriculture based company into a modern industrialized nation. The government invests heavily in major infrastructure projects such as the North-South Expressway, KLIA, Putrajaya, Cyberjaya, and the Petronas Twin Towers, which improved connectivity, attracted investment, and supported economic growth. Third, development of national industry. The government established and strengthened national industry, including Proton and other government-linked company (GLC), to reduce dependence on import product. This initiative attract foreign direct investment, create employment opportunities, promote technology transfer, and stimulated Malaysia industrial and economy development. Lastly, criticism. Despite its significant achievement, Mahathirism faced criticism from the high cost of mega infrastructure project, which required substantial government spending. It was also criticized for allegation of crony capitalism and favoritism, with claims the some government contract and business opportunity mainly benefit politically connected individual and company. Political impact. Strong and centralized leadership. Mahathirism emphasizes strong and centralized leadership with greater executive authority and active government intervention in national development. Mahathirism believes that political stability and leadership were essential for achieving rapid economic growth and national progress. Second, positive outcome. This leadership style enabled the government to implement policy efficiently and complete major development projects within a short period. It's also maintained political stability, which is increased investor confidence and supported Malaysia economic development. And lastly, criticism. Despite this achievement, Mahathirism was criticized for concentrating too much power in the executive branch while reducing the independence of the judiciary and the media. The use of the Internal Security Act (ISA), which allow detention without trial, also attracted criticism for limit freedom of speech, civil liberties, and human rights.
Next is criticism of Mahathirism. First is authoritarian consolidation. Centralization of political power. Political power was mainly concentrated under the Prime Minister. Major government decisions were made by the central leadership, giving less influence to other political institutions. Next is strong leadership over democracy. Mahathir was known as a strong and decisive leader. While this helped Malaysia develop rapidly, critics argue that strong leadership sometimes took priority over democratic practices and public participation. Next point is weak checks and balance. Checks and balance are important to prevent any branch of government from becoming too powerful. Critics believe these missions become weak because the executive branch has greater control. Next point is powerful executive branch. During Mahathir leadership, the executive branch became the most powerful part of the government. This allows faster discussion making but also reduce the influence of parliament and other instructions. Next is less judicial independence. Another is that the judicial become less independent. Argue that court decision could be influenced by the executive, reducing public confidence in the justice system. Limited democratic participation. Chris also argued that was less space for opposition parties, civil society, and public participation in political discussion making, which limited democratic engagement. Next is inequality and crony capitalism. Rapid economic development. During Mahathir leadership, Malaysia developed rapidly through industry, infrastructure, projects and foreign investment. They contribute to higher economic growth and modernization. Unequal distribution of wealth. Despite the country's economic success, the wealth created was not distributed equally. Some groups and regions benefit more than others, leading to income inequality. Next is political patronage in business. Critics argue that some business receive government contracts, license and financial support because they had close relationship with political leaders rather than through open competition. Government support for selected elite. Certain companies and business elites were believed to receive preferential treatment from the government. This created the perception that opportunities were not equally available to everyone. Reduce transparency and fairness. Because of political influence in business, Chris believed the government's decision become less transparent. This raised concern about fairness, accountability, and corrupt weakness exposed during the 1997 until 1998. This ASEAN financial crisis weakness in the company included high corporate debt and close ties between business and politics. Critics argue that this problem show the risk of crony capitalism. Next is ethnic polarization. Tun Mahathir introduced the idea of Bangsa Malaysia in 1990. The goal was the unit all races under one Malaysian identity, not just Malay, Chinese or Indian. But critics say it didn't fully work. Why? Because the government continued ethnic-based policy like the NEP. Most affirmative action benefit went to Bumiputra, especially Malays, in areas like education, business license and housing. Because of that, non-Malay communities often feel excluded. They feel the Bangsa Malaysia slogan didn't match the reality on the ground. So instead of creating full unity, ethnic education still remained and national unity was limited. Second, suppression of dissent. This means limited people who disagree with the government. During that time, opposition voices were often restricted. Political rallies were hard to approve and some opposition leaders faced action. Also, law like the ISA or Internal Security Act allow people to be detained without trial. And the media was close control. Most major TV and newspaper were linked to the government, so criticism was limited. The biggest example of the Anwar Ibrahim case in 1998, his arrest and trial caused a hard controversy locally and internationally. Many saw it as political. Because all of this, there was strong demand for democratic reform and more civil liberties after that period. Critics said the government was strong on development but weak on allowing free speech and opposition.
Before I conclude, I would like to leave everyone with one final thought, which Mahathirism transformed Malaysia through modernization, industrialization, and strong leadership. While it accelerated national development, it also sparked debates on democracy, governance, and social unity. Its legacy reminds us that effective leadership must balance progress with accountability. So, the legacy of Mahathirism teaches us an important lesson, whereas effective leadership is not simply about achieving growth, but about ensuring that growth benefits society while maintaining unity, democracy, and good governance. I would like to end with this quote: development is not only about building a nation, but also about balancing goods, unity, and democracy. Thank you.